That's kind of been a thing for us a little bit, just kind of grinding and fighting out. I was, very proud of my team and their efforts throughout that game. We, put ourselves kind of in that position, right? We put ourselves in that hole, but I kept reminding them it was a 32-minute game, that we had to keep just fighting, just keep playing SJ basketball. We talked about doing, communicating and rebounding and just, playing for each other and playing for the program. And look, that's, Coach Morris does a great job. They're 15-4 for a reason. So a lot of credit to them.
16-5.
16-5, yeah. A lot of credit to them and their game plan. They really exploited us in our man-to-man defense, and we made some adjustments and they made some adjustments, following that. But just really proud of, Kendall Daly. I had the confidence in her. I said, we're going to put the ball in your hands. At the end, when I called that timeout, and I said, go. I said, drive. I said, get to the paint. Somebody stops you. And she made a really, really tough shot, and just so proud of her just being able to have that confidence and belief in herself. Because it's got to start with her, right? She's got 4 other players, teammates on the floor that she could have passed it to. But I specifically told her in that timeout in the huddle, I said, go to the basket. I said, go, drive, right? And she did. And she made a really, really big shot for us, and I'm just so happy and so proud of her.
Yeah. Talk about the difference between the first half and the second half. It seemed like that even though you fell behind by like 9 at one point, it just seemed like things were a little bit more cohesive.
Yeah.
And then as it went along, you kept putting it together.
Right, absolutely. And again, I'll go back to what I said a few moments ago. Like, Coach Morris did an excellent job with her game plan. And it was difficult for us to make those adjustments on the fly. I think at halftime, we talked about a lot of things we need to do. We adjusted things. And it really just started to just slowly, it didn't come as quick as I would like, but it slowly started to kind of, get cohesive, as you say, right? It started to, pull itself together, and it started to happen in waves for us, which was really, really good, I think. But again, that credit goes to the players who never got down on themselves. They never just, realized that, the game was out of reach. They stayed focused. They battled. They played tough, and that's what we've been kind of preaching throughout the season. Despite our record, right? We just kept telling them, like, all of those things, those old, proverbs, like keep grinding, keep pushing, like, finish through. And one of the last things I told them at halftime was, like, this is a 32-minute game, right? It's a 32-minute game. The players talk about being 0-0. And I think that showed in the second half their mentality. They knew it was a 32-minute game. They went out 0-0 and was able to come away with a win.
What was your approach with Kimmy in the second half? She was able to drive and get some things pretty easy, throughout the first half. I think you all did some different things, and they also did a few different things with her. Was there any difference in the approach there because you knew you had to deal with her?
Yeah, essentially what we talked about at halftime, my staff and I, is possibly going to a zone to see if we can, kind of control the paint a little bit and prevent her from, getting those driving lanes. And we ultimately made a decision just to kind of stay with what the course of what we knew was comfortable for our players. Not that playing a zone is uncomfortable for them, but they are a man-to-man based defense first and foremost. That's what we do in practice, 67% of the time. So we wanted to keep them in that comfort zone. And just really the one minor adjustment that we made toward the end of that game, ironically enough with Kendall here, we had Kendall go and double team a little bit, right? And let's see, we said, look, when we get a lead, let's see if we can get the ball out of her hands and make other players on the court beat us. And look, I don't remember the young girl's name, but number one, she made a great shot there, to tie the game with about a minute left or less. And, but that was something we lived with, right? We say, hey, look, if we get the ball out of Five's hand, get the ball out of Kenny's hand, let's make someone else beat us. And credit to her, again, just goes back to what I said earlier about how well the Dunham Tigers are coached by Coach Morris. I mean, they are a fantastic team.